Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So this video is going to be my placenta encapsulation experience. And yes, I'm currently in my bathroom because why not? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I first want to start off by saying what placenta encapsulation is and what are the benefits of placenta encapsulation. So basically, when they encapsulate your placenta, it is after you deliver your baby. What they did was dehydrate it, basically crush it up and put it into little tablets, like the little clear capsules. And depending on the size of your placenta will determine how many capsules you get. To be completely honest, I don't know exactly how many I received, but I do know that taking one capsule a day lasted me up until the end of 4 months postpartum. So I would say about 120 for me. I'm guessing that would be average, but again, it just depends on the size of your placenta and how much they're able to get from it. So that's kind of what it is, okay? It's basically just they take your placenta, they dehydrate it, crush it up, and put it in little capsules so that you can take it orally like a vitamin. So what are some of the benefits of placenta encapsulation? This is just from the research that I have done, but to me it makes sense how it would work. So placenta, consuming your placenta post-birth is supposed to help with symptoms of postpartum depression because it's supposed to help regulate your hormone levels. So instead of going 100 to 0, literally like this, once you deliver your placenta, if you're consuming it after birth, you're allowing your hormones to decrease at a slower rate, possibly preventing something like postpartum depression or baby blues. It's also supposed to help with milk production and energy levels, because again, you are still getting a lot of those hormones and vitamins and nutrients that you were getting during pregnancy. So your body is kind of just regulating itself at a slower pace postpartum, and it's supposed to help with all those things. So let's go ahead and get into how much it costs and my personal experience with it. So I did it through Orlando Placenta because I was living in Orlando, Florida at the time when I did give birth. And I got the most basic program, which I think was also the cheapest one, and it was $250. And with this price, what I got was the service of them coming to pick up the placenta. Like I said, I did have to bring my own cooler and my own half-gallon bags. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it, but basically when I gave birth, I had to let the hospital know that I was going to be keeping my placenta. So I had to bring half-gallon bags and a small little cooler, and I was via C-section, so I just let them know that if they could please bag up my placenta after delivering it, and if they could please put it in the cooler over some ice, that I would like to take it with me. Well, they'll be picking it up, but they're not going to give it to the people. I have to do that. So while I was in recovery, they did that, and they brought me the placenta in the cooler while I was in recovery. So then the people who were supposed to come and pick it up, they came. Michael went downstairs, he gave them the cooler, and it took them, I want to say, about 5 days to do the whole process of dehydrating the placenta, crushing it up and putting it into tablet form, because I delivered on a Friday evening and we picked up the tablets, I want to say Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday like early afternoon. So about 5 days it took them to do that. And yeah, so it was $250. To me, it was worth the investment. It was something worth trying. And I guess depending on the company you go with, it could be more, it could be less, but I would say around $250 is what you can expect to pay. And then as far as my experience, I absolutely loved it. I will be doing it again for my future deliveries. I feel like it really did help me. Granted, this is my first postpartum experience, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I can say that I have suffered with clinical depression and clinical anxiety in the past, and developing postpartum depression and baby blues was actually one of my biggest fears. I never talked about it much, but it really was one of my biggest fears. And if consuming my placenta post-birth was supposed to help me not get that, then it was worth a shot to me, which is why I decided to invest in doing the placenta encapsulation. And to be completely honest, I feel like it worked. Could it have been the placebo effect? Maybe, but not only did I have a ton of energy post-birth, mind you, I was still exhausted because I wasn't sleeping. You know, I was exclusively pumping the whole first month. And, you know, being a first-time mom is still exhausting, but I do feel like I did have, you know, a decent amount of energy to get through the day. I was very, you know, bright and happy, almost always. And again, I didn't fall into any type of postpartum depression or baby blues at all. Maybe like the first week, but that was just because I was recovering from a C-section and trying to breastfeed, and kind of just like my body was in pain. But kind of once that pain went away, I didn't really have any negative thoughts or anything like that, thankfully. And I feel like it really did also help my milk supply. To this day, I am currently 7 months postpartum, and I genuinely feel like this was a great experience for me. Like, I don't know if I would have made it to this long breastfeeding, but I do feel like it did help with my milk supply, because I noticed my milk supply decreased a little bit after I stopped taking them. But I mean, I was still exclusively breastfeeding my baby at the time, so it wasn't too much of an issue. But before, when I was taking them, I would notice that I would leak a lot more than I do now. Granted, my baby still gets enough. She's still growing, she's still thriving, which is perfect, but I do feel like it did help my milk supply. So yeah, that is basically it. It's not too much information, but I hope that it's enough to maybe get you to look into the topic of placenta encapsulation, maybe let you think if this is something you would want to try for a future pregnancy or a future birth. I don't think it's weird at all. I know some people kind of get grossed out at the concept of consuming your own placenta, but to me, it kind of just makes sense. Like, it's basically what kept my baby alive inside of me for 9 months. It's something that my body created, and it's full of vitamins and nutrients and hormones. I would feel like a horrible person just letting that go to waste. So why not just consume it? If it's gonna help me and it's gonna help my baby, why not, you know? It was a really great experience for me, and I am super, super excited to do it again with my next pregnancy, whenever that is. I'm not pregnant right now, but whenever that happens, I do plan on doing it again. So yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, please be sure to leave them in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more mommy content like this, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.